Welcome back. What are we doing today? Adverbs. Alrighty, adverbs. Adverbs, they extend the meaning of verbs. So just a reminder, adjectives extend the meaning of nouns. They give more information about the noun. So here, biker is a noun. Say the hairy biker, the angry birds, old phone, the elusive Loch Ness monster. So these adjectives are giving more information about the noun. Adverbs give more information about a verb or other parts of speech, so anything other than a noun. Before we get started, let's have a look at these examples. So elusive, elusively, quick, quickly, serious, seriously, careful, carefully, quiet, quietly, heavy, heavily, bad, badly, good, well, fast, fast. And you can see that a lot of adverbs take this ly, and it's quite a nice way of knowing if a word is an adverb. But of course, like lots of things in English, there's irregularities and anomalies, and so good becomes well. It's not goodly, and fast is just fast. So adverbs often end in ly. They tell us something about how somebody does something, e.g. quietly, and they tell us about where, when, or how often something happens, e.g. always. Here's some examples of how somebody does something: slowly, quietly, carefully, sensitively. And here's some examples to do with frequency or time: hourly, weekly, monthly, yearly. Okay, your example. You think of some more examples, and maybe as a hint, you could give the opposites of slowly, quietly, carefully, and sensitively, or come up with completely new ones. So slowly becomes quickly, quietly becomes loudly, carefully is carelessly, sensitive is a bit different, it takes the in, so the opposite of sensitive is insensitive, and so the adverb's insensitively. But I think it's a bit cumbersome, and so it's perfectly acceptable to change your sentences if you need to. Bob dealt with Tim insensitively. It's a bit of a mouthful, and I don't really like it. So you could say Bob was not sensitive. Not all words ending ly are adverbs. Some are adjectives. So just a reminder, adjectives tell us about the noun. So here we have the noun puppy, and friendly is an adjective giving information about the noun, and it ends in ly. So just be cautious that that not all words ending in ly are adverbs. Adverbs tell us about other parts of speech, usually the verb. So how somebody does something, or how something happens. Okay, your turn. So have a look at these two sentences and decide what the adverb is, and also how it's operating on the sentence. Okay, so beautifully is the adverb. It's modifying the verb sang, or to sing. It's giving more information about how Anne sang. And this idea of how something works is what helps you understand adverbs. Extremely is the adverb. It's modifying an adjective. So here you're modifying a verb, and here you're modifying an adjective. The adjective nice tells you about Stuart, and extremely gives you more information about the adjective. Not only do adverbs tell us how somebody does something, or how something happens, but they can also answer other questions. And here we have an example: Jack arrived late, and this adverb tells us when Jack arrived. Here's some examples of frequency: hourly, weekly, monthly, yearly. We call these direct frequencies. And here are some indirect frequencies: never, hardly, rarely, etc. And you can see that lots of these adverbs on this page follow the ly rule, but there's also some exceptions. So can you think of some more sentences that include a time or a frequency, a bit like this one? I'll give you 5 seconds. Okay, so here's one of a direct frequency, weekly. Jack gets paid weekly. This is more indirect, and Anne can hardly see without her glasses on. And to see is the verb, so it's what Anne is doing. It's referring to Anne's sight. And hardly is the adverb that gives us more information about the verb. The sentence also includes another verb, but the main verb is to see. Okay, let's have a quick look at comparatives. So the comparative form is when you're comparing two things, two or more things, people, objects, etc. And a reminder of the adverbs we've looked at. And in the comparative form, we add er, or we insert the word more. So for long words, 2 syllables or more, we say more elusively, more quickly, more seriously. But for short words, 1 syllable, we can add the er, so it becomes faster. And we have some irregulars. So the adverb badly, it's not more badly, it's worse. And well, it's even more of an anomaly. It just becomes better, and you just have to learn these, I'm afraid. So let's have a look at some more examples. Paul is thin. Thin's an adjective. It's giving information about Paul. Whereas thin in this sense is an adverb. It's giving more information about the verb to look. And yet another exception, it's not thinly, it's just thin. But the comparative form, thin, becomes thinner. So Paul looks thinner than Andrew. And you usually see this word than when you're comparing one thing to another. Paul looks thinner than Andrew. Yet another example, Andrew is elusive. The adjective elusive is giving more information about the noun Andrew. Andrew swims elusively, so ly, elusively, adverb, giving more information about the verb. And in the comparative form, elusively is quite a long word, so we say Andrew swims more elusively than Paul. Fast is a short adverb, so in the comparative form we can just add er. Andrew swims faster than Paul. And just a reminder, if we look at our table, here's the adverbs, here's the comparative form. Do some more examples. Andrew swims well, and in the comparative form, well's irregular. And so we say Andrew swims better than Paul. And we go back to this table and we can confirm that. Adverbs, the adverb in this sentence, quietly. Andrew swims quietly, so the adverb is giving more information to the verb swim. And in the comparative form, Andrew swims more quietly than Paul. Sometimes you have to be careful. Comparative forms can also be used for adjectives. So this adjective is giving more information about the noun, Andrew. And so we could say Andrew's quieter. It takes the er in the adjective form. Bit confusing. Last couple of slides, superlatives, very similar to comparatives. Superlatives, you're taking the word most instead of more, and you're adding est for shorter words. It becomes most elusively, most seriously, most carefully. And these irregular ones take badly becomes worst, well becomes best, fast is fastest, and you just have to learn these ones. So some examples. Andrew is elusive. Elusive is the adjective describing the noun Andrew. And then we have some adverbs. Elusively is the main adverb. It's giving more information to the verb swim. Most elusively is the superlative form of the adverb. And this is showing a shorter one, also a superlative form of the adverb fast. Andrew swims fastest. So that's it. It can be complicated, but I'd just sum up by saying if words end in ly, a good chance that they are adverbs and they're giving more information about the verb, usually, or they may be supplementing another part of speech. And yeah, there are lots of exceptions. You just have to learn them, I'm afraid. Keep practicing. I'll see you in the next one.